So I always get asked which is better to use, Streamlabs or OBS, and I use both for two different things, but I'm gonna dive in and show you the key differences or the layouts of both, so maybe it'll be easier for you to figure out what's best for you to use. All right, let's start. So let's start with OBS first. I started using OBS around December 2019 when I first started streaming, and I saw it was very easy to figure out. So I'll just show you here. I have a bunch of scenes here for different things, some for testing, some for actually when I'm streaming, if I'm going to Mixer. So let's just create a new scene. This scene will be, let's just say it's your main scene. I already have one called main, so I'm gonna call it main 2. And you can make it where this is your primary layout, exactly what you want to be when you start streaming. You can have this scene as your first one. So let's say main-2 is my first one. You can go to sources, and let's say you want to add a microphone. It would be audio input because you're inputting sound into the computer. So you just select that. You call it whatever you want to show up on the list. So I'll just leave the default value. And there's my microphone Yeti right there. So if I actually choose that, you'll see my voice moving right here, which is good. It means it's picking up sound. You can also use the eyeball to disable it, or you can even mute it here. The audio output is how you want to hear. Like for example, if you want to listen to music and you want to hear it through your headset, again, you can call it audio output, or you can call it headset or speakers. Now here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna choose the device that you want to hear sound on. So my headset's not plugged in, but it would say Razer Kraken on this list if it was. These are my main speakers, which means if I play music through my computer and I want the audience to hear it, as long as it's not turned off, music will go through. It'll actually, so this is, I'm just playing with the Windows sound meter, and you could see it's picking up levels, so that's good. That takes care of pretty much the audio. There's other things you can do. A browser would be if you wanted to, it's not for a web browser, but it's if you want to link something to a certain website. For example, OBS and Streamlabs, they have it where you can actually link your alerts to the software itself, and it'll give you an actual browser link. So if somebody sends you a follow or subs, it'll link it back to the website, and it'll play that alert. So it's like a two-way street. It's sending and receiving data from both ends. So that's pretty much what you would use the browser source for. I'll be honest, I haven't used color source. There's some of these I haven't used, but display capture is exactly what it states. If you want to capture a specific screen, you'll actually see my Streamlabs. Actually, maybe not. There you go. You'll see Streamlabs on my other screen. So you can actually choose what display you want to show on the screen. And this is great if you want to show your other screen to your viewers. If you want to show like your desktop, or if you're doing an instructional video, this is great. You can show your display, and because it's in layers, it's showing like this, but if I minimize OBS, you'll see my desktop. Then you got game capture. Let me just shut that off. Game capture is the most important one. This allows you to choose. The game that you want to stream. So I have no games open. Steam's not even open. There's nothing that OBS sees as a game for me to capture. But if I had Rocket League, Overwatch, Destiny, Halo, or anything on my Steam list running right now, I would see it here, and it would say Steam in parentheses. Or it would say the game name and then Steam after. And then once you see video, once you see the game, you can actually stretch it out to how big you want it. So game capture is the main one to capture a game. Images, if you want a picture kind of hanging out in the background. You can even use a media source, which is great. You can use like an MP4. Streamlabs does a great job explaining what you can use. I believe you can use a GIF, an FLV file, MP4, and a bunch of other different video formats, and you can have it loop. So let's say you have a video and you want it to loop when it's done. you can check that box. So if it ends at 10 seconds, it's gonna start back from 1 and then play again. And I have tested these in the past, which are great. I've had a little GIF for MP4 files just kind of hanging in the background. Text GDI Plus is if you want to have text scrolling on the screen. You can choose your color. You can choose the opacity. If you want it to be very light and faint, you can. And then pretty much you would just put your text there. And then you can just go through all the properties here. So the background color is black. Let's see if that comes through. Let's do pink. There it is at the top right there. So I'm gonna actually close out of browser source. But if you want it to have like playing with subs today, or you want to get a message across, you can do that too. You can just have text hanging there. They used to have it where it would just scroll. I don't know if OBS changed that, but I'm pretty sure there is a way. I'm not seeing it here, but there was a way to do it on Streamlabs where you can have it act like a banner and it'll just go side to side. Or I think you could even do it vertically. So those are the main ones that I use. Game capture, display, the audio in and out, and then VLC video source. VLC is another video format application, and I guess what this does is it allows you to import that type of file. But I'll be very honest, I haven't used that. Window capture is very similar to display, but you can just capture a program instead of a game. So right now I have a couple things open. Streamlabs, I guess that's the start menu. Sticky notes, and then Microsoft Notes there too. Like if I wanted to just display it, I can. That's on the other screen, so I think that's why it's not coming up. But I hardly use the window capture, to be honest. But that's pretty much it. So if you have game capture, your audio in, your audio out, you're ready to record, you're ready to hear sound, and you're ready to see your gameplay. And what you see on the screen is what your audience is going to see. Alright, so we're on Streamlabs right now. As you can see, it says it at the top. This is version 0.20.1. I actually just got this update yesterday. This program is, I don't want to say it's a lot heavier, but it's slightly heavier than OBS because it has a bunch of more features. It has its own store. It has its own alerts that you can manage from here instead of going on the web version. So this is the editor, or I call it the live editor, because this is pretty much a screen you see before you go live. I have a couple different scenes here. I have a stream is starting. I have one called in-game. Hey, what's up? It's me. I have one called Jackbox. Certain games, I have myself positioned in a different spot, so I'm not covering up the game itself. I have a be right back screen, a stream ending, which I don't really use. The intermission looks cool. And then I have a just chatting, which I changed so that if I'm chatting to the audience, I can see chat come through on the right side right here. I have a couple other ones that I don't use or for testing purposes, but pretty much, so this is the name of the theme, Borderline, and Nerd or Die is the group that makes it. Streamlabs works the same way as OBS. So if I go ahead and create a new scene, I'll just call it new scene. This layout I like a lot better because as you click on different parts of it, it'll explain what it works with. So for example, the image, you could do a PNG file, a JPEG, a JPEG, a GIF. I'm not sure what TGA is, or a bitmap. The browser source, if you have something linked to a website or HTML, just like I explained before, where you can link on Streamlabs for the alerts, you would use a browser source. So it would alert the software if somebody is following you, subscribing, hosts, or raids. And that gets set up typically through the website. The image slideshow, you saw that before in OBS. I didn't show it to you, but I showed you it was on the menu. And pretty much that's if you want to use any of these picture formats, I guess, to be in a loop for pictures only. The display capture, it does the primary, secondary, game capture, most modern computer games. So like I said, if I had Steam running, I would select that, give it a name, and then choose it. Audio input, that's going to be for microphones, USB microphones, and other USB devices. So you can already see Streamlabs lays it out what each thing does. So if you're unsure what the difference between input and output is, output would be your desktop audio. What do you want your audience to hear? If you're playing music in the background, you want them to hear that. You don't want to play it through speakers and then the speakers is outputting music and it's going back through your microphone. You want it to play the audio strictly from your desktop. You don't want any other speakers to transmit back into audio because then you hear an echo. So you definitely don't want to do that. But a lot of these are very, very similar. What Streamlabs is nice, what it has that I really love is the widgets. So if you wanted to make a follower goal, you can. So let's just do a follower goal real quick. And then you just fill in the parameters. So, you know, you can just say, I think I'm at 5'10". So let's say we want a goal of 600. You could choose the date and all that stuff. So you figure out how many, you know, days you want. Let's just say February 1st, 2020. Start goal. So clearly we have 14 days to go, and we, you know, would need 90 followers to reach the goal. But you can have that anywhere. And the only thing I have to say about this is if somebody follows you outside of you being live, I don't think there's meter updates. So if somebody follows you, that would be you have 511 and so forth, 512. I think when you're streaming, that's when this updates. So if you have 10 people follow you outside of you not streaming, the meter is still gonna say 510. Well, in this scenario. And I think it's doing that only because it's checking to see if someone's following you while you're live streaming. If you're not live streaming, it's not gonna take that into account. So that's one thing I've picked up on before. And I have time to time people following me outside of me streaming. So I stopped using these meters because it wasn't accurate. But that's nice. You can do that right from here and whatnot. And everything's in one window, one layout. Your viewer count, that's exactly what it states. It'll pop up and show you how many people are watching here instead of going to the website. Subscription goal works just like the follower goal. What's your sub goal? Some people do it for the month, and it'll just, you know, if they get a new subscriber, it'll +1 or plus quantity, however many people subscribe. The bit goal, the way bits work in Twitch is it's Twitch currency. $1.40 is equivalent to 100 bits. So if somebody gives you 100 bits, it's $1.40 you just made. Some of these are really cool. I've used a spin wheel before for giveaways, where I would put in the people who either subscribe or enter the contest. I would put all their names in, and I noticed it works a little bit better on the website because it'll allow me to put everyone's name in. So I actually do have streamers in here from my past giveaway, which was months ago. But pretty much if you do it on the web, I believe it'll sync with your Streamlabs. There's an option to spin it, so it'll spin on its own. But I haven't really tested it too much on here. I've done it from the web version, and I know there's an option to spin it from there, and you'll actually see it spinning on your Streamlabs itself. There's a bunch of these I haven't played around with, but I know that I will play with them in the future. The alert box is my favorite. So I already have one, so I'm just gonna call this 2. I have them all checked off. So if somebody gives bits, donations, a sub, a follow, a host, a raid, it plays an alert that I set up. So I have mine are Fast and Furious themed. So I have a GIF with an audio that plays on top of it. And it's pretty much all this similar concept of Fast and Furious because I love it. OBS is not too much different than this. Like I said, the only thing that's different is the themes and the store that they have for the apps. So, you know, the theme I have is called Borderline, but if you're looking for something, let's say maybe something that has green in there, maybe yellow, it's gonna find ones that's red. I don't know why that's on there, but it's gonna try to find the colors that you pick or what you're searching for. So like, let's look at this kryptonite. I also have Prime, so I can get this. An average user who doesn't have Prime will not be able to get this one, but it pretty much shows you like what it's gonna look like. This is like the main screen. Your starting now is animated, so it's gonna constantly move. And these are the options they give you. So you have a be right back screen, a stream ending, and offline is when you're offline. But while you're streaming, you can have things put in here, like your social media tags. The heart would be, I believe, if somebody follows you, it'll put the newest follower in that box. You don't have to type anything. You just place it there and it does the rest in the background. And that looks like it's bits. I guess you could put your Discord there, your Instagram. Every theme is different. Mine only shows donations, bits, a sub, and I think a donation. Yeah. So not all of them are gonna have the same thing. So you have to pick and choose how you want it. So this one, I guess, has a follower, a cheer if somebody donates bits, a subscriber, and a donation, which is good. That's what most people want. They want to see people's names on there, and you know, if someone follows or subscribes, they like to see their own name up there too. So this store is really great, and they have a lot of awesome stuff. I'm constantly changing every like 6 months, a new theme. I haven't tested an animated one like fully. I've had it briefly, but I noticed it uses a little bit more CPU just because it's constantly moving. So those types of themes are a little bit heavier, but they have an awesome store, and they're constantly updating it throughout the seasons. This is CloudBot right here, and pretty much this is kind of like your, I don't use it, but it's pretty much like your chatbot. So if somebody does a list of commands, chatbot will output your commands. Or if you have a command set to exclamation hello and somebody types it, you can have it say so-and-so said hello to the chat. You know, there's different parameters, different things you can do with the commands. Timers are a good way to have a message pop up every 10 minutes or maybe every 10 lines, depending how many people are in chat. Obviously it's disabled because I'm using a different provider or a different source, so I'm not using CloudBot. I have it enabled for certain things. You can also do polls, so if you want to do like a voting thing and see how many people vote on it, like what should I play next, maybe put 2 games in, or what should I eat for dinner, put your 2 types of foods, but you can't decide what you want to eat. You can also do giveaways too. If you want to do a merch giveaway, you can pretty much, this is some of my merch, but you can pretty much say only subs can enter, or subs get twice the amount of tickets. Subscriber bonus. So if somebody subscribes, you can give them, they get twice the entries. So they have a better chance of winning than a person who's not subscribed. And then over time, you'll have people who are watching, they get points. So let's say you make it 100 points or 100 ticket cost. If they have at least 100 points, they can buy the ticket. If they're at 90, depending the way you have it set up, they may have to watch for 10 more minutes to get that 10 points. So pretty much you can see Streamlabs has a whole nice interface built in. This is their app store, where they have certain apps built in that you can download. They're constantly updating this as well. I would always check the reviews. I've heard of Pretzel. It's a music player that plays music. I believe they don't have any issues with copyrighted music, or I think they isolate that. But I mean, Streamlabs is, for me, honestly, it does what I need it to do. And then you have all these other settings down here. The dashboard actually opens up to the website For as long as you're signed in, you could see everything. Let me see what the studio mode does. I don't know if it's doing something right now. Layout editor. This is how you, if you want to modify the way your screen is laid out. So I have it set up where my display, my whole screen is here. Mini feed, if people sub, donate, follow, it'll show it on this layer. And then this is exactly how you saw my layout. I had the audio mixer, the sources for audio or image or game capture, and then the different scenes I had on the left. And you're gonna see right now, your scenes, your sources, my audio mixer, the mini feed, and this is pretty much where everything gets, you know, displayed for the audience to see. So I believe I did studio mode, which I haven't perfected yet, but I guess you can do transitions. So I'm gonna just shut that off for now. You just highlight and you can see what each one of these things does. Multi-stream is a different feature. I've heard borderline that it violates Twitch's terms of service if you stream to another platform such as Mixer, Facebook, or YouTube. So I haven't done it recently. I've tried it in the beginning, like 6-7 months ago, I want to say. But I was told that I'm not supposed to be doing that because Twitch can violate me as an affiliate. So I don't want to get in trouble. But pretty much that's what Streamlabs is. It's very similar to OBS. I consider OBS Plus. It's got all these extra features. Everything's laid out nicely. And if there's something you're not sure about for like a scene or a source, I should say, you can just hover over it and it'll tell you exactly the files it takes and what it's supposed to do. Overall, I use Streamlabs. It's helped me a lot, and I just think there's so much that it has to offer, and I'm always looking for the next big thing that's coming out. And Streamlabs is always constantly updating their software, adding new features, new modules, and just trying to make it an overall better experience for streamers like myself. So if you liked everything I spoke about, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll leave all my links below so you know where to catch me when I'm live or even on social media if you need to hit me up with any questions. So hopefully the video was great, and have a great day.